Cultural competence and inclusivity are essential components of high-quality care for individuals with developmental disabilities. Direct care staff must recognize that each person they support comes from a unique background with distinct cultural values, traditions, and communication styles. Understanding and respecting these differences not only enhances the quality of care, but also fosters a sense of belonging and dignity for the individuals being supported. When staff practice cultural competence, they create an environment where people feel safe, understood, and valued, which is crucial for their overall well-being and development. Cultural competence involves developing awareness, knowledge, and skills that allow care providers to interact effectively with individuals from diverse backgrounds. This means acknowledging personal biases, being open to learning about different cultural practices, and adapting approaches to meet the needs of each person. Inclusivity goes hand in hand with cultural competence by ensuring that all individuals, regardless of their race, ethnicity, language, religion, gender identity, or socioeconomic status, receive equitable care. Inclusivity is not just about acknowledging diversity, but actively creating spaces where everyone has equal access to opportunities and resources. For direct care staff, cultural competence is especially important when supporting individuals with developmental disabilities, as their ability to express their cultural needs may be limited. Some individuals may rely on caregivers to advocate for their preferences regarding food, holidays, religious practices, or language use. For example, a caregiver working with a nonverbal individual who follows specific dietary restrictions must take the time to learn about the reasoning behind these choices and ensure they are respected. By doing so, staff demonstrate a commitment to person-centered care, where each individual's background and personal values are honored. One common challenge in practicing cultural competence is the potential for miscommunication. Language barriers, differences in nonverbal communication, and varying perceptions of personal space can lead to misunderstandings. For example, in some cultures, direct eye contact is seen as a sign of respect, while in others it may be considered confrontational. Caregivers must be attuned to these differences and adjust their interactions accordingly. Active listening, asking clarifying questions, and seeking guidance from family members or cultural liaisons can help bridge communication gaps and build stronger, more trusting relationships. To illustrate the importance of cultural competence, consider the case of Maria, a direct care professional working with Jamal, a young man with autism from a Muslim family. Maria notices that Jamal refuses to eat at certain times of the day and becomes distressed when offered certain foods. Initially, she assumes he is simply being selective about his meals, but after speaking with his family, she learns that he is observing fasting practices during Ramadan. With this understanding, Maria works with his care team to adjust his meal schedule and provide appropriate accommodations. By taking the time to learn about Jamal's cultural and religious needs, Maria not only improves his quality of life, but also strengthens his trust in her as a caregiver. Beyond individual interactions, organizations that prioritize cultural competence create policies and training programs that reinforce inclusive practices. Staff training should include education on diverse cultural norms, communication strategies, and approaches to addressing unconscious biases. Additionally, workplaces should encourage open dialogue about diversity and provide opportunities for staff to share their own cultural experiences and learn from one another. When inclusivity is embedded into an organization's values, it becomes a natural part of daily interactions and decision-making. Cultural competence is an ongoing process that requires continuous learning and self-reflection. Direct care staff should seek opportunities to expand their understanding by attending workshops, engaging with diverse communities, and staying informed about best practices in inclusive care. By fostering cultural competence, caregivers enhance their ability to provide meaningful, person-centered support that respects and upholds the dignity of every individual. This not only benefits those receiving care, but also enriches the professional and personal growth of the caregivers themselves. Ultimately, cultural competence and inclusivity are about more than just recognizing differences. They are about embracing diversity in a way that ensures each person feels seen, heard, and respected. When direct care staff commit to these principles, they create a positive and supportive environment where individuals with developmental disabilities can thrive. By continuously striving to learn, adapt, and advocate for the unique needs of those they support, caregivers play a vital role in fostering a more inclusive and compassionate society.